Hi everyone! In this video we will solve a ticket or stamp word problem. June spent $14.70 at the post office. He bought twice as many 48-cent stamps as 2-cent stamps. How many of each did he buy? We have two unknowns here, but they're both stamps. Typically for the variable, I like to use the first letter of each, and since they're both stamps, I'm going to go ahead and come up with X and Y. So the number of 48-cent stamps is X and the number of 2-cent stamps is Y. If we take the value and multiply it by how many we have, we will get the amount for each of the stamps. So if I multiply 48 cents times X and 2 cents times Y, I'll get the amount. Then if I add those two together, I will get the total of all of it, which is $14.70. And that's our first equation. 0.48x plus 0.02y equals $14.70. Working with decimals can sometimes be messy, so let's go ahead and multiply both sides by 100 to get rid of them. On the left side, we'll use the distributive property, which gives us 48x plus 2y equals 1,470. Now for our second equation, we need to read our second sentence a second time. He bought twice as many 48-cent stamps, which we used X to represent, as 2-cent stamps. This can be kind of tricky to translate. Since we have more of the 48-cent stamps, then we would say that the number of 48-cent stamps is the same as the number of 2-cent stamps, which is Y, multiplied by 2. So it looks like we should, as we read from left to right, do 2 times X. But remember, X represents the amount or the number of stamps. And since it is twice as many as the other one, I need to take the number of the smaller amount and multiply it to 2 to equal the number of the larger amount. So we end up with X equals 2y. Now that we have our second equation, we can substitute 2y in for every x in the first equation so that we only have one variable that we can isolate for. So we end up with 48 times the substitution for x is 2y plus 2y equals 1,470. Multiplying 48 times 2, we end up with 96y plus 2y equals 1,470. Combining like terms on the left side, we get 98y equals 1,470. Now to isolate the variable, we'll divide both sides by 98. So we end up with 98 divided by 98 cancels. So we have y equals 1,470 divided by 98 in my calculator is 15. And so we have 15, and y represented the 2-cent stamps, so we have 15 2-cent stamps. Now we can substitute 15 back into our second equation. We could use the first, but it's a little messy, and the second equation is already solved for x. So let's go ahead and substitute it in. So we get x equals 2 times y, which we found to be 15, so x equals 30. This means that I have 30 48-cent stamps. So we have 15 2-cent stamps and 30 48-cent stamps. And now we're all done.